Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this elaborate fondant crown with a cake mold, like with a silicone mold. And for this crown, you can use any large silicone mold that you have, any large silicone mold that you pass to the end. Yeah, you can use that, and I'm going to show you how today. You don't have to use this a particular mold if you don't have this, because I made this cake and this other cake, but today I'm going to be this crown and this other crown, sorry. But today I'm going to be showing you how to make the one with a mold. So if you want to make the second crown, that crown, I made it without a mold, like I made it without any special tool. So if you want to see how to make that, I'm going to leave the card right up here above here for you to click on. It says click on me, so remember to click on that to check out how I made that. Okay, so today we're going to be using this mold, and then we're going to be putting some of our fondant, our gum paste into it. This is gum paste that I made by myself, and I made it from fondant scraps. So if you have fondant scraps that you use, maybe you decorate cakes a lot and you have tiny pieces of fondant remaining that you don't really use and stuff, and you just have so many of them, I have a video on how to repurpose that to make fondant, to make like gum paste, yeah, in a video, and I already made that video for you guys. So click on the card right up above here. It says click on me. Yeah, click on that. So today we're going to be using this gum paste that I already made. So let's get started. So what you want to do is to take your silicone mold and then take your gum paste and then roll it into your silicone mold, and then to form the shape of the silicone mold, if that makes sense. And you want about 2 or 2.5 of this. And the reason is because you want it to be wide enough to be able to go round, so that the crown will be to be able to be round and like be big enough to fit a 6-inch, 7-inch, 8-inch, or 10-inch cake on top of it, if that makes sense to you guys. Okay. So if you guys notice, I don't really put any cornstarch or like anything for it not to stick in my silicone mold or on my fondant, and that's because this sugar paste is very nice. It's wonderful. It is very not sticky at all, and it works well and firms up really fast. This crown firmed up in less than, like, usually I use this gum paste when maybe I forget to make the accessories for my cake in advance, so I like to use this gum paste because it firms up really fast. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to leave a link right up here for you guys on how to make it. It says click on me. Yeah, click on that. Okay, so we already made 2 different strips from this silicone mold, and I'm going to glue it together right now with my edible glue. And I make my edible glue from either CMC or from wafer paper remnants, wafer paper scraps that I have from other cakes. So if you want to see how I make that, I'm going to leave the link right up here for you. It's a really nice glue that doesn't, like, it is not too sticky and it's not too watery, so it is wonderful for gluing gum paste and for gluing wafer paper. Okay, so moving on, we're going to take that and then our fondant, and then we're going to try to wrap it around a container. You just want to make sure the base of the container is round, because if the base is round, that way it will form like a round base for your crown, because you know, like, the crown is round basically. So that's what you want. So, but what I kind of realized at this point is that the fondant strip is not long enough, so I was kind of struggling to make it fit. Out of laziness, I was just supposed to make one more strip, but you know, I tried to do things like the easy way. Anyways, so I realized like there was no way around it. I had to make another strip of silicone, you know, fondants and stuff. So I tried to make one more strip so I can add it to that. So when I make that, if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, like, what are you waiting for? Please click on the link below and subscribe. Click on the subscribe button and subscribe, and give me a thumbs up on this video. When you give me a thumbs up on a video, you're telling YouTube that you like the video, so they get to show it to more people, because I have amazing tutorials on this channel for you guys. Like, I have more than 200 different tutorials on this channel, especially for beginners and intermediates, and even if you're a professional, I have awesome tips and tricks for you on this channel as well. So make sure to subscribe and to turn on the bell notification so you can get notified every time I post something new. Okay guys, so moving on, we're going to take the third one. So I tried to make half a strip, yeah, and then we are going to glue it to the other 2 strips that we glued together initially. So we're going to glue that, and this was kind of tricky because I made half a strip, so it was kind of tricky knowing where to fit it, yeah, but I kind of found and I like made it work. So like I don't know, just kept it somewhere and glued it with my edible glue. So we're going to take that strip again, and then we're going to wrap it around the same container. The container you pick, you want it to be wide enough, yeah, to fit like maybe around, this container was about 10 centimeters in diameter. So you want to pick something that's around maybe 10, 12, 14, 8, around that centimeters in diameter, so that like your crown can be wide enough so it can fit on top of, like, on a medium size on a small cake. Okay, so moving on, you want to take the strip and then you want to wrap it around your plastic container. Okay, so but another tip I found was useful was to take tiny strips of fondant to be able to use it to glue those silicone molds, the fondant molds you made together. That way it makes it easy and it doesn't start falling apart or coming apart while you're trying to put it on your plastic. So another thing I found was easy was to bend your plastic and let it be lying on its side. That way it's a lot easier, and then it will dry out in that shape, and it's like a lot easier. Basically it won't be falling apart or making your life a little difficult. So make sure when you put this together, like, your plastic is lying on its side. I didn't really figure out this trick out fast, but once I did, it kind of just worked. Make sure it is lying on its side, and then the end of your crown is facing the table. That way the table is holding it in place, yeah. So that way your crown is going to stay in place. So you want to make sure you also leave it in this shape, like in place like this. Like, you want to make sure that, yeah, you want to make sure you glue the ends with some edible glue, and then you make sure that part is facing the floor, like not the floor, like the table stuff. And then you want to leave your bucket or your container lying on its side while it dries. It dries pretty fast, like I told you guys. This gum paste recipe dries really fast, so within like 30 minutes, 1 or 2 hours, it's going to be really firm and it's going to look like you made it the day before. So you want to leave it like that for a few hours and let it dry. Okay, so once it is dry, I'm going to show you guys how to put some extra details on it so it can be really pretty. So when it is dry, you can take out your container, and then it gives you this really amazing crown that can stand on its own, yeah. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is take some chocolate and melt it. You don't want to add cream or water or anything to it, just normal chocolate, yeah, and melt it, because chocolate firms up really fast. And then you want to put it at the tip. Decide which part of your crown you want to put the chocolate balls, because I have some chocolate balls that I already painted gold, and I'm going to stick it on top at like strategic places on top of the crown. Yes, so that's what we're going to do, and we're going to be sticking it on with chocolate. So the thing with sticking with chocolate is that, like, it won't dry immediately, so you want to make sure your hand is stable while you hold it on so it can dry out. But once it dries out really firm, but it takes around maybe if you don't have the free spray, it takes around maybe 10 to 12 seconds to dry out. So when you're placing it, you want to make sure your hand is stable, that can hold it in place for maybe around 4 to 5 seconds, so that it can stay in place, and then after a few seconds it will dry out and be really firm. Okay, the reason why you can't use glue for this is that glue, it easily comes off when you're trying to, because now you're not gluing fondant to fondant or gum paste to gum paste, you're gluing chocolate to gum paste, so like it's a little bit harder. So that's why you want to use chocolate. Okay, so once you are done with that, the next thing you want to do is paint. So I took some of my gold dust. So you want to use good quality edible gold dust, and you want to mix some vodka with it, and then you want to start to paint, and you want to paint every nook and cranny of the crown. Okay, so if you would like to buy my gold dust, yeah, it is very nice and very pigmented. I'm going to leave the link for you in the description box below. On the other side, like, I have some of my favorite cake tools. I'm going to leave the link in the description box below, because like, if you're a cake decorator and you can decorate cakes often, you know, like, tools are very important when you have the right tools. So I have some of my favorite tools. If you like to buy them, or if you like to check them out, if you like to see if it's something that might be useful to you, check them out in the description box below and buy them if you'd like. Okay, so now I'm painting my crown, and once I was done painting, it came out beautifully. It came out looking so royal and perfect, and it dries out so fast. So if you try out this crown with any mold you have at all, make sure to tag me on Instagram. I'm going to put my link in the description box below as well, or to send me a message on TikTok. Thank you guys so much, and make sure to leave me a comment underneath this video if you like this tutorial. Thank you, and I will see you in my future videos.